Welcome to the Momlife podcast. Whether you are in the beginning stages of motherhood, a mother of two, or an empty nester, this podcast is for you. We're talking about everything motherhood and we're not holding anything back. So get ready to join me in today's episode as we talk about some things that are definitely going to help you as you navigate this journey. Hello, beautiful mama. Welcome back to the Momlife podcast. I'm your host, fellow mama and friend, Renice, and I have a question for you. Let's just start this episode off with a question. Why is it that moms, us moms, me included, talking about myself as well, why is it that we are constantly not doing the things that light us up? Do you know what I mean when I say light us up? Like those things that we're passionate about, the things that excite us, the things that are for us that bring so much joy and passion and light us up on a regular basis. Why do we not do those things? Okay, so this is what we're talking about today. Obviously, if I'm starting with that as a question. I want to talk about this because this relates very deeply to the last year or two of my life, really a journey I've been on doing things for me, not the self-care piece, right? You guys know I'm extremely passionate about self-care, which I will always be a huge advocate for. What I'm talking about is like a sidestep of that. This is more of you as a person outside of being a mom, being a woman, being a human being. What is it that you can do for you that you love to do? When we're kids, we play, we find things we love to do. You might find a sport that you enjoy. There's these things. You're growing up, you go in high school, same thing. You find these things that you enjoy and you're doing them. Then you're single, right? Then you might be single. I don't know. Some of us are in relationships right away, or you had that high school sweetheart. But what I'm saying is, before you have children, there's this time in your life after high school and before you actually, have momhood or parenthood come into play. There's this window of life where you're doing things that you want to do for you. And you do them all the time. And you don't even second guess it. You don't even realize that you're doing it because this is just life. And you're finding joy in it and you're happy doing those things and you do them whenever you want and you're happy. Then you become a parent, become a mom, and it kind of slowly fades to the background. It dwindles out. There's like a fire that it ignites that kind of gets snuffed out a little bit, right? And you forget that there were things you were passionate about. You forget that there's these things that would bring you so much happiness and joy that you did just because you enjoyed it that you no longer do. And I want to bring that back to you today. I want to bring it back to you today. Now, why do I want to bring it back to you today specifically? Well, I've been feeling it pretty deep. And like I said, in the last couple of years, I've been on this journey of figuring the things out for myself. Now, speaking from a personal perspective, those of you that have listened to this podcast for years, I've talked about it several times, that throughout my journey, I had experienced severe postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety that lasted years and years and years and years. Okay. And throughout that time, I lost my sense of who I was. I lost my sense of joy, and I lost my sense of what was fun for me, what brought me actual joy, like the playful side. I lost a sense of that completely. I was so serious every day, and my focus was my family. That was it. That was my life. So I've really, in the last couple of years, have been stepping into this piece of focusing on what are these things that light me up? What are these things that I am passionate about? What is fun for me? What is play for me? What do I want to do? So these are things like hobbies. These are things that I like to do for me and no one else. Okay? For me and no one else. Now that was very hard for me to even think of years ago. I couldn't imagine doing something for me that didn't involve for someone else because everything I did was for everyone else. But I had to learn, whoa, I'm human too. I need things that I enjoy too. Being a mom is just a part of who I am. It's not everything. So I had to find this and reevaluate and dig deep. I had to dig really deep to figure this out. And so I've been making it kind of an experiment. And that's my hopes for you with this episode today, is that you will begin to experiment and play with this idea of finding things that light you up, finding things that you're passionate about, that light a fire within you. That's the only way I can explain it. Yesterday, actually, I was writing in my journal, and that was kind of the wording that came to me that could describe what these things that I'm enjoying doing for myself, what it does for me, how it feels inside. It's like a beautiful fire. It's not this like anger fire, right? I don't want that to be the image that you guys imagine when I'm saying fire. I'm just talking about how it just ignites something in you. It's exciting, it's bright, it's fiery, and you just want to keep doing it because it's so much fun, or it just brings a sense of fulfillment. Ooh, that's like the word right there, right? Fulfillment. How many of you want to feel fulfilled? I know for me, I want to feel fulfilled every single day. I'm almost getting tongue twisted by saying feel and fulfilled. There's a lot of F's in there. Okay, so what can you do? How can you experiment and find some things that light you up? I want you to start in a place of going back to your childhood or thinking back before you had kids and start making a list. You don't actually have to make a physical list if that's not something that you like to do. But I at least want you to think about it. If you're a list person and you like to write things out, I highly recommend get out a piece of paper and a pen and write down some things, because then you see it visually and you're able to use that as a base. But think about, what were things that you enjoyed? What made you smile? What did you really, really, really love doing when you were a child or a teenager, or before you had kids when you were an adult, if you had that window of time in your life? What were those things? What did you enjoy? And then take that and kind of play with it now. Is there something you can do that's similar? Or is that something you can pick back up and begin doing again? So I'll give you some examples. Simple examples would be reading. Maybe you love to read and you don't read anymore. Maybe you really like picking up a physical copy of a book. I'm like that. I do enjoy reading. I don't read all the time, but when I get in my mode to read, I can really just get into a book and not put it down until I am through it, or I'll get through it in a couple of days or a few days, because I'll read when I get time. And I know a lot of you are like, I don't have the time for that. Listen, when my kids were little, I would read when they would nap. That's kind of my time I would pick it up. Or I'll read when I get a little break here and there. Read a page or two when you can. I'm not saying you have to blow through an entire book in a day or 2 days. Okay, I'm saying doing these things in a time that you have in your life. I'm not telling you to sit down and do something for an hour or two if you don't have an hour or two to dedicate to it. Okay, I'm very mindful of the fact that you already have a lot on your plate. We as moms have a lot on our plate. We're doing a lot of things. We're balancing a lot. We don't always have a lot of time for ourselves. I understand that. And I'm very, very sensitive to that. What I am saying is there are certain things that we can make time for, and it can be little stints of time if that's what we have. And I want you to give that to yourself. Dedicate that time to doing something for you. So if it is reading a page or two, then do that. That physical copy, I love to have a physical copy. Maybe that's not you. Maybe your thing is you like to read it on, a tablet or something, and that's an easy, simple way for you to read it. Whatever it is, there's no right or wrong here. It's whatever you feel. What lights you up? What gets you excited? What do you enjoy doing? Maybe a hobby for you was writing, or it was drawing, or coloring, or dancing, or singing. What were hobbies that you had? What were sports that you enjoyed? What were things that really excited you, that you did for you, that just lit that fire within you? I want you to discover what that is. And come up with a few of these, because here's the thing. You have to experiment. Like I said, you have to experiment with these to see what works. Maybe that thing you were passionate about when you were a kid, you're no longer passionate about. Maybe you pick up, your colored pencil and a coloring book and you're like, nope, this is not for me. I don't enjoy it the way that I did as a kid. That's okay. That's fine. So now you get to discover something else. Find something else that's new and go and do that thing. There is literally a world, a broad world of hobbies and things that you can choose from. So find some things. What do you have an interest in? And then go down that avenue. If you are a creative person and you're an artsy creative person, there's different avenues. There's chalk and like pastel chalks. There's paint. There's drawing. There's coloring. There's so many different things that you can do with all of that, right? You could take a class. You could just do it at home. You can do it outside. There's just different avenues. Maybe you're a person who loves physical movement. So there's dancing. There's Pilates, and there's just different kinds of movement you could do. You can go for walks. Listen, there's so many examples that I could give you guys, and I know you don't want to hear me just list off a million of them because there are so many. I want you to take this and make it yours. Decide, out of this list of things, what can you start doing today? And you can make a little bit of time. Do it in little chunks of time, you guys. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit over there, a little bit back there. And you'll notice that it all starts making a difference. We all have different amounts of time in our day. We all have different schedules. As for me, I will give you my examples. This might help some of you. So I did start picking up because I remember loving to draw and things when I was younger. I do not like to draw now, but I do enjoy a color by numbers. I don't like the paint by numbers very much, but I like the color by numbers. So I have found myself where I bought a few of those and some nice colored pencils. And when I get in the mood of being creative in that way, I pick that up and I'll color. I usually don't even finish one in a sitting. Sometimes I don't even finish half of one. Maybe I just do one color and I finish those colors and then I close it and I'm done. And I move on to the next thing in my day. Sometimes it's a couple minutes. Sometimes I might spend, I don't know, half an hour doing it. Just whatever I have time for, whatever I'm interested in doing, I do that. So I've recently, again, in the last 2 years, picked up that hobby again. I tried knitting for a while as a hobby. I really liked that when I was little. My grandmother did that. And so, again, I tried picking up knitting and I realized not for me, but I think it's so cool. So if that's a hobby for you, go for it. I think it's amazing. But I found out that it was not for me. Then I tried crochet because I thought it was close and that I might like that. Realized that wasn't for me either. I realized sewing wasn't for me. You guys, I've experimented with all different things because I'm like, what works for me? What do I like now? I told you I went on a deep dive journey with this, and I want for you to do the same. Take this journey. It is worth it. So I have come to a few things that I really go to when I feel like I'm in the mood. That goes from coloring to dancing. I have picked up dancing again. It's a passion I've always had that I still enjoy. I've also picked up doing research about the things that I'm really interested in. I let myself go on a deep rabbit hole dive into learning about something if it really interests me. I trying to learn new languages. Sometimes I try that. I don't get very far, but I do enjoy the process of getting where I get, and it's fun for me. Another thing, you guys, this is my big one. So when I was younger, I was a gymnast. I was a gymnast for 13 years of my life. 13 years. Yes, 13 years of my life. I had to think about that. And it was everything to me when I was a kid. Everything. I loved it. Loved it. And then, didn't do it. I coached for a little bit in my early 20s and then didn't do it for a long time. And my daughter is in gymnastics. She wanted to get into it. And of course I was like, sure, let's see where it goes. And I am now coaching gymnastics again. And I have rediscovered the passion has been lit. That fire's been lit within me again. And I find myself so in it. I am so passionate and so excited about it's not just the coaching piece, it's about being in the gym. It's about doing things. I find that I am working on things myself to get myself back into it. Not that I'm going to become a full-on gymnast again, because that's definitely not going to happen, you guys. No way. That's not where I want to go with it. But I do enjoy doing some of the things. And there's some skills I would love to do again. And I find myself working on it. And it's fun for me. And I love working with my daughter with different skills and drills and things. I love it. I truly, truly do. And so this is something that I've taken on for me. Yes, I kind of jumped in to help with my daughter and coaching with the kids, it helps bring in some income, yes, but that's not why I do it. I do it because I love it. I do it because, again, it lights that fire within me and it excites me. I'm so joyful within it. It helps me to feel fulfilled in a way. So that's something that I picked up. Going and pursuing nursing is a whole different avenue, and that's not a hobby, but it is something that I'm doing for my family, yes, but mostly for myself. I've always wanted to do it and I put it aside, and now I'm doing something for me. So I'm not saying you have to make these big jumps. You may be in a stage in your life where you're not able to do that, like I was for a long time. I wasn't able to go pursue nursing or go get a job coaching or any of that, right? I had to start small. I had to start in those little windows of time that I had. So if you're in that stage, go for that. If you're in a stage where you have more time, do those bigger things. Take a class somewhere. Experiment with different new hobbies, something you've always wanted to try that you've been excited about, but you've never had the guts to do. This is your time. You have one life. You have one life, and it is yours. And you have all these different aspects of your life, yes, but it is your life, and you deserve joy. You deserve to feel fulfilled. You deserve to have hobbies and things that light you up and excite you. And you know what? Let me just tell you, there are literal benefits, health benefits to having these hobbies and doing these things. It brings you happiness and joy and fulfillment, bringing you all these happiness hormones. Okay, I'm not even going to get into actual science, but it activates happy hormones in your body, in your brain. You guys, it gives you health benefits. Have you ever known somebody for a long time? Let's say it's your friend, one of your best friends. You've known her forever. Didn't talk to her for a little bit. You bump into her again and you're like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. What's going on? And she's like, oh, I started doing this again. I hadn't done it in years and I'm doing it. Oh, I'm so excited that I did. And you literally see that she's glowing. Like there's a glow to her skin. There's this something about her aura, something about her. You're just like, man, you're giving off this vibe. Like, what is it? And she's telling you, oh, I feel great. I'm feeling so happy. Why? Why is she feeling this way? Why does she look so amazing? I'm telling you, you guys, there's benefits to doing things that bring you joy. It truly does. There's so many benefits. There's so many. But the happy hormones do a lot to your body, for your skin, for your overall well-being. It really helps to ease stress and anxiety within your system. It helps to lower blood pressure. There's all these benefits to it. So find those things. Find those things for you, for all of the benefits it gives you. Do these things because they just make you feel good, and you deserve to feel good. So I encourage you, I challenge you, I ask of you, play with this, experiment with this. Find those things that light you up and do them. Make the time. You have to do that. If you don't make time for it, it's not going to happen because no one else is making time for you to do it, right? You have to do it. You're making time for everybody else, for everything else. You can make the time for you. You have to. It's so important. You did it when you were younger. Do it now. Do it now. You will be surprised as to how good it makes you feel. I can tell you from experience, I can tell you right now, in these last 2 years by doing this, I feel the difference. I see the difference. My husband notices it. He has told me, wow, I could tell there's been like a fire lit under you lately. You seem excited. There's just something that like this passion has been lit. And I tell him it has. I'm doing this. And he encourages me to continue with it. He sees the difference. I feel the difference. You guys, it makes a difference. So do this for you. Do this for you. And if you have a hard time doing it for you, take a moment and realize that people see what you're doing and they notice the difference. Your children see this. They see you. They're going to notice when mommy has a pep in her step. They're going to notice when mommy is excited and feeling fulfilled and having that joy. They're going to see that in you. And that is going to be contagious for them. That's going to inspire them. That is going to let them know it's okay for them to do things for themselves too. So if you have that difficulty with doing it just for you, maybe you feel guilty, maybe that makes you feel selfish. I'm not sure. I dealt with both of those. Maybe you have whatever other reason. Just take that moment and look at your children and think about how it impacts them. The beautiful ways it's going to impact them, and then do it for yourself and make that time. It makes such a big difference. I promise you, it makes such a big difference, and I want that for you. I truly, truly do. Well, I hope that this episode really helps to support you wherever you are in your journey. If you have a question about anything, you guys can always reach out to me. You guys, I've been getting your comments lately. Thank you so much for sharing how these episodes are impacting you and supporting you, what you're liking about the episodes. It means so much to me. I'm so grateful for you guys listening to these podcast episodes. Please remember to follow the podcast wherever you listen and to share these episodes with a fellow mom. Share, you guys. It helps other moms. You never know how it will impact someone. All right. Well, with all that being said, I hope that you have an incredible, incredible rest of your day. And if no one tells you, I'm going to tell you that you are doing the best you can with what you have. And that is more than enough. All right, mama, go find that hobby, go experiment, and see how it makes you feel. All right, I'll chat with you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a fellow mom, and I will chat with you in the next episode.